Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another. Well, I don't really want to call this like a full podcast, but yeah, more of a rant cast, if that makes any sense to anybody out there. So while I'm waiting for some people to join in to have a discussion, let me just kind of tell you guys. First of all, thank you for the last couple of live streams. For those people who joined in, for those people who chit chatted, made just all out general fun. All out general fun. So, without further ado, first of all, welcome back to the channel, the Nerdiest Podcast, where we kind of dive in all things nerdy. So, yeah, I didn't really have much to talk about today until I watched a specific video. Now, I'm not gonna put the person on blast, because I'm not an asshole like that. So, I'm gonna put the person on blast, but let me just say this. I think it's it's 2021. It's 2021. We are already at the end of February, so we are just about done with the second month of the year and about to enter the third month of the year. And I will say the OS wars, Android versus iOS, it's over. It is literally over. So get over it. It's all in fun. It's all in fun. What war is over? The war between Android and iOS. That war is over. It honestly is. Both OS platforms are great in their perspective, but also they're very similar. I hate to put it out there for a lot of people. They're very similar. There's not really much of a difference between them other than of course the ecosystem that's built around them. Why is it over? Because there's nothing different between them. There really isn't a huge drastic difference. Okay, when you're looking at Android from back in the day, like when you're looking at 2.2 Froyo or 2.1 Eclair, you really can see like a huge difference between Android and iOS. When you're looking at the days of Gingerbread, you're looking at a huge difference between iOS and Android. When you're looking at Android 11 and iOS 14, there's not a drastic difference between them. They're just not. I gotta call a spade here. There's just not. I can pick up an Android phone and use it. I can pick up my iPhone 10s and use it, and I'm not gonna see a drastic difference between them. What's the one quintessential thing on both OS platforms that you do? You touch an app icon, it launches the application. Is there a huge drastic difference between Facebook on iOS and Facebook on Android? No, there's not. If people are going to be like, well, the home the home icon on Facebook is at the top on Android, and it just so happens to be at the bottom of Android, and that's a drastic difference. Get over it. Get over it where button placements are. Get over it where navigation tabs are. Is not a huge drastic difference. The characteristics is the same. Same thing with Instagram. You're gonna argue about Instagram and say, well, on Instagram, you can definitely do this here on iOS, and on Android you have to do it up there. Get over it. There's not really a huge drastic difference between iOS 14 and Android 11, much less in the past iterations of Android, the last two versus the last two of iOS. Not really huge. Not really huge. Both are gesture based. Both are gesture based operating systems now, and they're kind of going towards that. Both heavily relied on the popularization of dark mode or dark theme, right? Both emphasize for night sight or night mode, right? There's not, when you move from an Android device to an iPhone, you're not losing a whole lot. And the learning curve that people talk about baffles me. There's not really a learning curve. Now, I'm sorry for being an asshole. And I know I can't set myself as a standard for everybody else, but come on. The OS wars might be over, But the war between iPhones and non-iPhones is not necessarily over. A lot of people still hold disgust to Android, especially the young generation. But that is such an idiotic argument state for the young generation. I'll say that. Okay, I will really say that. Um, a disgust for Android. Why? Because it doesn't have an Apple logo on the back of the phone, or is it because you can't charge someone $650 for a 2-year-old phone like you can for an iPhone? Because believe you me, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. I go on OfferUp and I'll see people to be like, I have an iPhone 10s and I want $650 for it. And it's like, yeah, so you can't argue the fact that iPhone's resale value is pretty high. You can't argue that fact. It really is. You could get a shiny penny for an old iPhone because there's a mass market for it, mass demand. But that's brands, right? That's just like back in the day where everybody just had to have Nike shoes because of the swoosh, because of the swoosh check. And it's just like, okay, you're literally paying. I probably shouldn't have done this podcast outside. I hate being bugged by bugs, and since it's getting warmer, a lot of them are coming out now. But anyways, you're paying like $150 for the swoosh. You're paying $20 for the actual shoe. You're paying $150 for the swoosh. Like, come on now, or the Adidas stepping stones. I call them, the little. I call it, or actually not stepping stones, but what is your signal on Adidas? What is your signal? I noticed this, and this is just kind of weird. Every time I do a podcast outside, someone initially has to let my dogs out after they were just out here, and I just put them back in. Like, that's super annoying. You guys hate that? You guys hate when you're actually doing something and then somebody literally fucks with you? I hate that crap. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, the disgust to Android doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything when you really boil it down. I mean, you bring up a good point, Riverdale tells, you really do, but it just, there's no substance there for that argument for any of the young generation people today. There's no substance for that argument. It really is not. Respectively, Android and iOS run well. Yes, you can do more with Android. I don't want to hear the Android fanboys talk, but you can customize and on iOS. You just really can't do that. Yeah, you can. You can on iOS. And you know what? I don't want to hear this crap about you have to jailbreak it. It's still doing something. I mean, there's a lot of things that you couldn't do on Android before unless you rooted the damn thing. So what are you really saying here? At the end of the day, when it comes to Android and iOS, they are great respectively as operating systems on their own. Let's just call it for what it is. And that's that. Today, it's always going to be just like a competition of who's doing features better. Not who overall in general with the operating system is actually doing it better, but who's actually doing the features better. I don't know why the young generation still, and will probably always, we'll probably always look down on Androids. An example is girls in the US won't talk to a guy with an Android phone. Yeah. I mean, not every girl's like that. Okay, so let's not lump all the ladies in the world into that, but I do know what you mean. I do know that there are some women who won't even reply back if, like, you get their number. Like, let's say you went out with your homies, you guys went out, you guys had a few beers, you guys are just cruising, cruising for bruising at night. And then all of a sudden, you meet a girl, what's up? What's going on? Well, what's up with you? And you guys have a conversation. Trust me, no guy sounds like that today. That's just me spitballing there. But anyways, could you really? The sky is so freaking huge. You had so many paths. Could you really? But anyways, so you get her number, right? And then, you text her later on to see what's up with her and everything. Because you pop up as a green bubble, you get no replies, like cricket chirps. Like, I don't understand that. The idiocy. Do we really have to judge each other today by what type of smartphone we run? Is that really a call to branding and a call to, identity? I mean, that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, I have a deep interest for mobile technology. I have a deep interest for everything that has to do, with the geek lifestyle, the super nerdy, right? I like video games. I like comic books. I like, I like toys. I like Pokemon. I mean, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. At the end of the day, I'm a freaking nerd. N-E-R-D, nerd. You know what I mean? What does it matter what phone I have? Yeah, I mean, if If a woman is into a nerd, what does it matter what phone he has? Why does the blue bubble freaking matter? Why? Because I'll tell you something. If you're so worried about a blue bubble, get an Android. Because on Android, everybody's blue. Haha. Everybody's blue on Android. You're either a dark blue or you're a light blue. But nonetheless, you're blue. If that's what really freaking matters. I've never really understood the whole concept of that. You're not a blue bubble. I am not replying to you. Well, I got a can of chinga tu madre on the table. You can help yourself to it then. Literally. Yeah. No, I'm not fluent in Spanish. I just know some things thanks to some homies that decided to like beef up my, Anyways, I'm not trying to throw people on the bus. The OS wars is just ridiculous. I guess when you get older in time, as you get older, you continue to get older, you kind of look at yourself and you kind of like, you want to slap yourself. Like, what the hell? Back then, you were like, you were just so against iPhones, Tito. You were just like so against Apple and the ecosystem, you wouldn't even touch one. And now you touch one, and you're like, hey, this is no different from your Android phone. And it's actually quite nice. And it does do things better. It does. There are things that Android will do better. There are things that iPhones will do better. It's a question of which one are you willing to deal with on the suffering point? Which one are you able to actually sacrifice? Are you willing to deal with certain things that are downers for iPhones, or are you, going to deal with things that's downer for Android? Yeah. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And you know what? When I see these videos, like I say, like long-time iPhone user switches to Android, I'm like, okay, let's see what this is about. This has got to be great. And what do they usually start off with? They usually start off with their disdain, their disgust for Android. They make some little quip about their disgust for Android. And all of a sudden, it's like they flip the script on you. And it's like, oh, yeah, there's some good things about Android. There's definitely some good things about Android that they can do. Definitely. Yes, I see that they do this very well. Well, yes, very well. Very well indeed. And I never knew they could do that. But now I bought one, I could do it. And you know what? What's always really ridiculous about these videos? Is like they tend to go after, like, if it's an iPhone user using an Android phone for the first time, most of them who pay out of pocket usually buy themselves a budget Android device and then make their analysis on that. Like, okay, you're going to sit there on video and you're going to rock a freaking iPhone 11 Pro Max, and your comparison Android phone is a Pixel 4a. You're not doing Apple any favors with that one. Why? Because if you actually praise Android, i.e. praise Android, you just literally like gave the edge to Android if the OS wars was that important. If the OS wars was that freaking important, and you're a person who was a longtime iPhone user, and you're like, I'm going to try Android for the first time. Longtime iPhone user right here, trying Android for the first time, bought a Pixel 4a, $350 versus my iPhone 11 Pro, and I'm actually liking the Pixel 4a. You just pretty much like cut Apple's legs off underneath them, because you just literally said that a Google Pixel phone, that's mid-range, $350, mid-range processor, is good enough to stand up to an iPhone 11 Pro. Fuck the specs. Let me just say that right now, okay? Let's not go about paper stuff. Let's go about user experience. And so, yeah, a long-time person who's been, in the Apple ecosystem for many years, uses the Pixel 4a and says, oh my gosh, this thing is good. And that, of course, he's going to find a few things he's going to gripe about, of course. What's a good content review on YouTube without some good old-fashioned bitching? But, let's just chalk it up to what it is. So, like, to do Apple favors, you would literally have to bash the Pixel 4a. But then if you do that, you just kind of threw yourself under the bus, because then people are going to point out the freaking obvious. You're comparing a $349 phone to a $1,500 phone, jackass. Come on now. All right? Use logic. There's those kinds of videos that I'm just like, I find them entertaining, but I find no value in what they're saying. None. Absolutely none. I find no value. You want to know where the real value comes from, everybody? And I hate to say this because now I'm actually plunging the stake into my vampiric heart. Trying it for yourself. You don't need someone like me to literally tell you what kind of experience you're going to have with an iPhone or what kind of experience you're going to have with an Android. You don't need me to tell you that. Because when you buy the phone for yourself, you'll know what your experience is. You're either going to love it or you're going to freaking hate it. But does that mean you have to be stuck with it? No. No, you don't have to be stuck with it. No, you don't have to. Because there are great services like Facebook Market and OfferUp is one of the biggest ones. Hell, eBay and Amazon. You can just sell that thing and get what you originally were going to get before you decided to say, hey, I'm going to try that. And then you tell yourself, don't ever do that again. You know what I mean? You ever do that? You ever like, hey man, I'm just gonna try this for the first time. I'm literally gonna do that. I'm literally gonna try this for the first time. And you go and you do it, and then then after you find out it was a bad idea, you're like walking away with your head down and everything. Like, don't you ever freaking do that again? It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things, man. Well, what can we say? What can we literally say about it? It's stupid. People fighting over Android and iOS. I mean, what the hell is this? Gangs? You know what I mean? Like we already had the gang wars, in California and everything like that, and we're still dealing with remnants of that today, but all across the country. You know what I mean? Do we need another one added onto it? Like someone's gonna be rocking Apple and be throwing up A's for Apple, and then what? But then actually they would have to throw I's. You know what I mean? Because A could be for Android. Unless they're going to go after a respective brand, and it's actually going to be like the G's versus the A's, Google versus Apple. But like, what are we going to do? You know what? To show my allegiance to, to the homies, to all my brethren, I'm going to go to the Google store. So store.google.com and buy me my XL Google t-shirt. Represent for the hood in Silicon Valley. Come on. This stuff is getting played out. Why do I say this? Because I see this a lot. I see it, and I'm always scratching my head thinking to myself, like, why the hell are you guys complaining over something so trivial, so stupid? Like, But even then, that goes off with all things in life, which I'll lead into here in a little bit. This is where it's going to kind of smooth away from tech and just kind of go into like life talks, because I got a bone to pick with a lot of people. I really do. I can give two flying. I give no fucks about anyone that gets mad at me for what I'm going to say later on in this podcast. Okay, so keep it locked here if you guys want to know what I'm about to say, because this shit's about to get real, and it has nothing to do with tech. Right? Why did I lead in with with the Android versus iOS wars? Well, I'm gonna call out some people. All right, today. And this year and last year and the year before, I don't know what it is. The last 4 years, politics has been like the most popular subject to talk about. A lot of people talk about politics. When I was growing up, no one gave a damn about politics. But all of a sudden today, everybody does. Everybody's got an opinion. I got an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Hey, what's up, Coffee? What's going on? Oh, man. Boy, did you pick a day to come in to watch this. You know what I mean? And no, I am not sorry if I offend people, because you know what? This is made to be offensive to a degree, because I think that all this argument going on, I think the cancellation of people that's going on is freaking ridiculous. And it doesn't have to do with you being liberal or being freaking conservative. I don't care. Why the hell do we care what someone identifies as politically? Why? We were all friends before we started actually showing what side of the political spectrum we're on. We were all good friends. We all loved to talk about tech. We all love to congregate and talk about 5G, which I'll tell people right now, 5G, you know what? I've come to the realization of this, and I'm going to tell it right now. And maybe some of my friends won't like me for this, but who gives a flying flip about 5G now? Really, honestly, it's going to come. It's going to come. I really don't care about it. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to deter away from using a phone just because it's non-5G capable when it's actually still pretty damn good. And LTE is pretty damn good still. So I'm not worried about it. But anyways, that's for another subject in another time. Why are we ending friendships? Why are we casting each other aside? Why are we being so stupid? Like literally stupid. Why are we being stupid? Why? Come on, someone give me a good answer. Why? And yeah, I'm talking about the replay crew too. If you're part of the replay crew, hashtag nerd up. And then tell me why. Tell me why should we end friendships? Why should we end relationships? I mean, yes, there are people stupid enough to end a relationship just because I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were a conservative. And the guy's like, well, I didn't know you were a liberal. And it's like, oh my God, blasphemy. We shared a bed together. Like, shut the hell up. Are you really going to complain? You wasn't complaining when you was knocking the boots. You sure as hell wasn't. But all of a sudden now she's a liberal and you're a conservative, or vice versa. Okay, let's not specify it to genders here, And then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, I can't be with you. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Really? Like, shut up about it. You were enjoying each other's company. Why can't we just not go back, but why can't we bring back? Okay, see, I don't like to walk backwards, but I do like to grab things from the past and kind of implement that into the future. Why can't we just bring back civility? Being freaking civil with people, respecting people's opinions, because everyone has the right to have an opinion. Respect each other's opinions. Acknowledging that someone has an opinion and respecting it doesn't mean that you've conformed to it. It just means that you've acknowledged they have an opinion. You respect the fact that they are free thinkers to have that opinion, but you don't agree with it. And hell, if they want to have that discussion, if they want to have that debate, well, hey, have it out. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't mean that you cancel people. You know what I mean? The dumbest thing that I've seen is that it actually affects YouTubers. I've watched a lot of YouTube over the past couple of weeks. While I was revamping the channel, rechanging things to kind of doing the things that I want to do on here, when I just literally just stopped fucking caring about what people demanded of me and started thinking that I'm going to do what I want to do and hopefully people enjoy what I bring to the table. And let me read this comment here. Politics can be a relationship breaker, Tito. Imagine dating a guy or a girl that turned out to be a Nazi. Would that sit right with you? Well, here's the question that you should be asking. They're a Nazi, right? Let's say that. I just demonetized this entire thing by saying that. But hey, who gives a flying flip? Supposedly, they're a Nazi, right? And you're dating them. Well, obviously, there's something that you liked about them until you discovered what they are. And do we even have the circumstances of why they are the way they are on that? Because trust me, before you start dating somebody, you can pretty much pick up if like they hate a specific group of people based on random things. You guys know where I'm going with that. That's something pretty freaking hard to miss before you start dating somebody. So either A, you think alike, and that's why it never bothered you, or B, you didn't care about her in the first place or him in the first place. You just wanted to get it in. And in that case, that could have just been a one-hitter quitter. Peace. See you next week if I call you type of situation. I mean, it's pretty hard to yeah. I mean, unless you're some sort of politician and like they sent him or her in to infiltrate you and they actually never wanted a relationship, right? I mean, when you're talking about hate groups and stuff like that, I mean, to be quite honest with you, that's a pretty hard thing to hide, especially nowadays. I mean, because I can, if I was single and I dated somebody, that person just happened to be that type of person, I would easily pick up on it because, I mean, there's so many different races in this country now today. I mean, it's just, I don't know, you can go and I can find an Asian person. I can find a Black American. I can find, Hispanic. I can find a lot of different people just by, going 5 blocks from where I live at. And I mean, so it's kind of hard for somebody that thinks that theirs is, fully supreme to others. It's kind of hard for them to really mask their emotions. I mean, you could read body language. They don't even have to open their mouth and say something pretty stupid. The look on their face already gives it. Trust me, I've been dealing with it for years. I've had things done to me. I've had people say really mean, hurtful things to me. It's just like, I already know when it's coming. I know it's coming before they open their freaking mouth. Like I can be standing at a line of McDonald's, right, ready to buy something, you know what I mean? And then the person can give me that look, and I already know what she's thinking about me before she even has to open her freaking mouth about it. Thing is, I don't entertain it. I'm not soft about things. That's the thing. I'm not soft about things anymore. Like, I used to be when I was younger. In my 20s, I had to fight injustice. My early 30s, I had to fight the wrongs. My late 30s going into my early 40s, I just don't care. I'm not soft about things. You know what I mean? I wasn't raised up on soy all the time. My dad bought steak. My dad bought chicken. My dad bought fish, stuff like that. I have my good servings of protein. And so, yeah, I'm not soft about things. Like sometimes people will say the most ignorant things and we just can't hang on every word that they say. What does it mean when they say something? Does it absolutely take the money out of your pocket? Does it take one of your mobile phones away? Does it take away your ability to buy something? Does it take away your ability to walk away? Does it take away your ability to buy the car you've been saving up for? Does it take away the ability for you to rent a righteous pad, one that you can actually enjoy living in? Does it take the food off your table, the clothes off your back? If the answer to all those questions is no, someone's ignorant, incoherent rambling cannot affect you in any way like that, except for your feelings, then get over it. Because here's something that my dad always told me. When you let somebody, when you get angry at somebody because of what they said, you're literally giving them the power to control you. They already have control of your emotions. You're allowing them to. You know what I mean? Like, yes, other people will feel like that they have to step in and punch somebody and hit somebody or whatever, whatnot. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, why? You're going to sacrifice your freedom just because that guy said something stupid? You know what I mean? Like, the sticks and stones thing needs to be taught again. Honestly, it just needs to be taught again. You know what I mean? Words only have power when you let them have the power. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm not going to fight every injustice thing that I see on the streets here because I like my freedom. I like being around my kids. I love being able to know that, here in a few hours, I can go to the store and buy something for my kids just because I love them and want to surprise them with something and come home. You know what I mean? Because my dad used to do that for me. Sometimes he would come home and it'd be like a brand new game for the Sega Genesis. No reason. Wasn't my birthday. I didn't get straight A's in school. He just decided to say that he wanted to tell his son that he loved them and he bought a video game that his son might like. I like doing that for my kids. My dad did it for me. I like doing it for my kids. Why am I going to let one idiot pretty much stop me? You know what I mean? Just because they said some things, you know what I mean? Now, if they touch me, that's a whole different thing. You put your hands on me and you just pretty much signed, you know what? You just surrendered your life because I'm going in. That's the type of person that I am. I'm not a violent person. I don't like to fight. I don't like to go and hurt people. I'd done that when I was a teenager and I regret that. And I don't do it now. And no, I wasn't a badass growing up or anything like that. There were some people that wanted to fight me that I was scared of. Hell yeah, I'll admit I was scared to take an ass whipping from them. But I still took that ass whipping. But the thing is, today there's just so much more to live for. While I am over here pretty much just being very obnoxious, I know I am. At the same time, too, I just want people to get over it. Get over the negativity. Get over the bullshit. If you outed a friend just because of a political point of view, what the hell for? That was a good friendship. If it was not a good friendship, then it was never a friendship to begin with. You know what I mean? There is, however, sometimes a gray area. Only if you let there be one. You gotta remember, you are the master of your universe. I tell this to everybody. You are the master of your universe. You only allow into your universe what you allow there to be. Okay? If I wanted idiots in my universe, I will allow them in, and then they can annoy the hell out of me. But I don't let them in. Life is just really short. It really is. Life is short. The relationships that we make are not always going to be here forever. Hell, you could have ended a friendship that was maybe 10 years of friendship. You could have ended it because of something as stupid as which president they voted for. And then when you finally come to the realization that it was a stupid thing to fight for, you decide to reach out to them. And then you find out that they passed. They passed because of the recent thing going on right now that's taking lives. Or they passed because of, complications of other health issues or whatever. And they're gone. Now you can't even say you're sorry. Now you can't even see them one last time or go and hang out with them one last time. You see what I mean? People are overlooking that aspect in life nowadays. They're overlooking that aspect. They're not even thinking about that right now. They're so hell bent on being a SJWs and being, political correctness and all this other crap. And then they're forgetting. They're destroying relationships within their lives that matter. look, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're standing on. It doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal to live your whole life that way. Y'all catch my drift? No one should have to live their life that way. People should live and be happy. Yeah, everybody wants to pursue that. I want to be happy. That's like when you ask somebody you can walk down the street and ask anybody, name me 10 things that you would absolutely want in life. Of course, money is going to be one of them, like wealth, right? Everyone wants to be wealthy. They want to live comfortably. Basically, they want to live where they don't have to do shit and have money to go buy what they want, right? They want love. Love is key. It doesn't matter, whether it's same sex or opposite sex, you know what I mean? But they just want somebody to love them, companionship, and somebody to be there for them, and someone that they can entrust and grow old with, you know what I mean? Because nobody wants to be alone. We're sociable creatures. We don't want to be alone. Who the hell wants to be alone? I mean, okay, I'm an introvert. I like my privacy, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that it overly, completely shadows my life. I do like having friends. I do like knowing I have people to talk to, and that's real. You know what I mean? Just sometimes, and there's just some days where I just would rather be in my own. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to socialize with anybody. You know what I mean? But people are sociable creatures. Of course, they want companionship, they want friendships, they want love. And you know what? There's platonic love. Okay, people got to get over this whole. The dumbest thing that was ever created was the whole having to say no homo type of thing. You know what I mean? Like really, if you're that insecure about yourself, I can understand you saying that. But you know what? If you're supposedly secure about yourself, then why the hell do you have to stop what you're saying to say no homo just to let me know that you're not saying something in that kind of way? Because I'm pretty sure that if you're straight, and I know you're straight, like let's say like you're married, you have a wife at home, and you tell me something, you tell me no homo, I just want to slap you, because I'm like, wait a minute, dude, I know who you go to home with, I know who's in your bed, I know who you have kids with. Like, why do you have to make it? But anyways, I digress. So yeah, we're social creatures. And then there's happiness. That is going to be one of the top ones. People want to be happy. Who wants to live their life stressful? Who wants to go through life and just deal with headaches and pain and migraines and body aches and everything like that? Because stress does affect you physically. It really does. And I was watching something today, which is actually really cool. I was watching something today, and this lady was talking about that, when you wake up in the morning, you should not grab your smartphone right away. And she was talking about the different phases, right? Because, she was saying like your delta waves is when you're actually like in your deep sleep. When you're coming out of that, you're kind of like in this daydream type mode. And your daydream mode when you first wake up actually allows you to be, like de-stressed and relaxed for the day. And she was like, if the first thing you do is pick up your smartphone and go check out the news or check out social media, check out Instagram, everything like that, you have bypassed your time to literally like, de-stress for the day, to make sure that your data goes without stress. And you're literally jumping into your active mode, which can be stressful, which can do a lot of things. You know what I mean? I have to grab my phone. It's my alarm. Gotcha. So you like literally you're not giving yourself that time to pretty much go through the day and to have a good day. You're starting off your day in full alert mode. So then you're pretty much you're pretty much setting yourself up to be like stressed out throughout the whole day. Yo, what's up? The OnePlus guy in the building. We are in the end game. Elaborate what you mean by we're in the end game. Because me personally, I think that people should just really just stop ending friendships over something stupid. Stop saying, well, you think this way, so now we're not going to be friends anymore. After all these years that you guys have been friends. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like the newly friends. Like, oh, I just met this guy last week. We went out for some beers and everything like that. He was pretty cool. But then today I found out that, that he was a Trump supporter. Like not those kind of friends. I'm talking about friendships that were like, yeah, we knew each other back, in second grade, been friends since, been at each other's weddings, got together and brought the kids together for, to hang out and barbecue on 4th of July. Those types of friendships, you know what I mean? Like, why are people ending those for something as stupid as like, oh my God, I didn't know you vote for Biden. Who cares? I always just grab my phone and hope someone texts me. Today people got to stop being so soft. Today people got to get over themselves. Today, well, today it's just about high time that we just actually worry about the things that matter in life. Forget all the other dumb shit. Worry about what matters in life. Your relationships, your friendships, your family. And then, biggest of all, you. Yeah, you have to be the biggest of it all. You have to worry about yourself. You have to go and do things for yourself. Do something spontaneous. Well, who cares what anyone around you says? Unless it's not breaking the law. Like, trust me, if you're like, hey, I want to spontaneously jump butt naked into the Hudson, yeah, don't. and if you decide to do it, don't say that I told you to do it, because yeah, I'm not saying to do that. I'm not saying to break any laws. All I'm saying is just do something spontaneous for you, something that you normally wouldn't do. Take a chance at something. You know what? If you like, let's say you went to the arcade and you were always embarrassed to try DDR. If you don't know what DDR is, then I'm gonna feel really old. But Dance Dance Revolution, that game. And let's say like you were always like too shy and embarrassed and afraid to do it. Just go in there and do it. Who cares what anyone says, whether you're good at the game or bad at the game or whatever. You know what I mean? If you can stomp on the arrows on time or not, you know what? Just have fun. Like, why are we living for other people? We should be living for ourselves. So then that way, when it's time for us to go, when we're ready to go and meet whatever God we pray to, we can say that we lived enough. One of the realizations that I came to before I close out this podcast, one of the realizations I came to was that I used to have a huge, huge fear of dying. I really did. And I told this to my sister. I've told this to my dad. I said, I'm afraid to die. They're like, why? I'm like, well, because I really don't know where I'm going. Is there really anything after this? I mean, I know people go to church and they pray, and a lot of people tell me like, hey, have you been saved? They tell me that all the time, and they're like, yeah, like Mormons have all these different little levels of heaven you go to, and Catholicism basically says if you were good, you're going here. If you're bad, you're burning there, and then there's Christians and Presbyterians and all them all in between that pretty much like say the same thing, but just have like different perceptions of the Bible and everything like that. But one thing I notice about them is that they do good because they know that there's somewhere good after for them to go to, and but I'm like, but how sure are they? You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those ones, and I know someone religious is going to be like, you shouldn't question, that's one thing that God wants you to do is have faith, blind faith. And it's like, well, I really can't have blind faith. I really got to know, is there another place for me? Because the worst thing is to take your last breath and know that you're just bleeped out of existence. And it's like, you're gone. What is there for you? If there's no after conscience, what are you then? Nothing. And I'm scared of that, or was. Whatever, like I've learned something from that, all of that. And that is, if you did a lot of the things that you wanted to do in life, if you lived your life, like really lived your life, by the time that you get that news that, you're going to pass, to you're going to be prepared because you've done all that you wanted to do, and that there's really nothing left. Like boredom, there's just nothing left. And so the will to live is no longer there. The acceptance to go peacefully is. And then you go. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's the reason why I started this podcast with the Android versus iOS wars not really being a war anymore, and everyone should get over it because they're pretty much literally the same. Because it kind of like goes hand in hand with my rant about people like ending relationships over something stupid as politicals and everything like that. You know what I mean? And to all those who freaking left because I talked political, a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know what they pegged me as. If they pegged me as conservative, then yeah, they're really nuts because I'm not conservative. Neither am I liberal. Like I said, I'm always in the middle. But yeah, if y'all outed me because of that, well then screw you. Screw you, because I mean at the end of the day, I'm gonna do me, and y'all should do you. And you know what? Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you, and definitely don't ring my doorbell when you want back. But anyways, to all those who stuck by with me, I want to say I love you guys very much for staying by me, no matter what I've talked about, because I know I'm pretty crazy about things nowadays. And some days I want to talk about tech, some days I want to talk about Pokemon Go, and some days I want to talk about video games and stuff like that. Some people care about it, some people don't give a damn about it. But hey, it's something for everybody. Just saying. And today I just literally like had like a talk show type thing. Like literally. Wow, look what I can do. Should mess with my mom. Look at me now. Mommy, I'm on the internet. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to dip out of here because I got lots of freaking things to do today. I'm definitely gonna go pick up a Pixel 3a at a shop that I saw that was for sale at a good price because I want another one back, and they happen to have one, so I'm just gonna go get one. And then I'm gonna be doing a review video about that later on in the coming weeks, along as a touch up with the Pixel 4a. And I don't know, I'm probably gonna go to Best Buy and see what kind of game should I get for my Nintendo Switch. And a fun chat. Yeah, fun having you guys here. Yeah, please come back for more. You know what? No one is silenced here on my channel. I've said this so many times. Speak your mind. You have the right to speak your mind. I did not silence anybody here. Unless they start attacking somebody else in derogatory ways, then I have to give you the boot. But just for having an opinion, I'm not going to shut you down. Free speech here on my channel. You know those stupid TikToks where they're like, girls don't want flowers for Valentine. Well, let me just do that. Free speech here on my channel. Simple as that. I'm dumb. But I love you guys very much. Y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Mondays. Grr Mondays. If you guys watch it all the way through, hashtag Grr Mondays. Let me know you guys watch it all the way through. If you're the replay crew, hashtag nerd up. So that way you leveled up. So I know that you played this level today and leveled up. And you guys will be on the next level when I do another live stream. Yeah. So until then, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Take it easy. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. Enjoy whatever it is. Peace.